What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So this is part 3. Yeah, it's part 3. Working class copper bullion bars. So last video we just got these things set back up. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous because we just made 17 bars. Well, we have like 17 bars. And you know, last time I threw a bunch of brass in with the copper, and they looked like copper, you know what I mean? There was just a little bit too much impurity in those bars that they would not dissolve properly, and this whole thing didn't work. So, you know, I threw a bunch of copper in with a little bit, just a little bit of those you know, impure bars. And yeah, if these things dissolve just fine, I'm gonna know exactly where the threshold is. Like, I don't know about a mathematical like formula or anything, but I'm gonna know personally, you know, what I can get away with when I'm throwing stuff into the Devil Forge. Like, how many impurities can I chuck in there and then have it come out in the wash? So far, not gonna lie, it's been 2 days. We've got some monster growth in 2 days. Oh yeah, and those bars are falling apart. I can literally see them just flaking off quick. Yep, same thing over here. Yep. Oh, look at the growth. You see, this is the thing. It takes a little bit to get going correctly because there's already copper crystals that have broken off and just fell down. But after a while, that'll stop happening. And that's why I like the seed ranch, because when we pull these negative terminals out, all of that copper that's on that wire is going to fall off fairly easily. Versus the root killer, when I did the root killer, I can't tell you what the difference is, I really can't. But the root killer stuff was like welded on there. And it was a monster to get it off. Yeah, like I said, we have some, we've got good growth. Water is, the blue toilet water is very, very blue. And you know, part of the monster growth could have been from me putting way too much copper sulfate in the fluid. I just wanted to make sure it was fully saturated. It has cleared up like I thought it would. You know, I can see the bottom of the bucket. It's a nice deep blue color. Yeah, we're looking good here. So we've been running approximately 1 week. I noticed the first couple of days after I set these up that the voltages were like, you know, they just kept changing. I had to come down here and tweak and adjust to get them to stay somewhere around 7 volts. But then after a couple of days, they started to like equalize and get more stable. And I noticed since we've, because when I was doing this up in my apartment, I was going through distilled water like crazy. But down here, because it's cooler, it's a little damper down here, I haven't had to add nearly any distilled water. I mean, I do top it up, but it's not like it was upstairs. So I feel like we're going to go through less distilled water with this setup in the basement. But yeah, this has been running roughly a week. Oh yeah, dude. We've got some growth. We got some oh yeah, we even have little growths that have broke off. So let's pull these out and see what we got. You ready for the big reveal? And I don't think it's been quite a week yet. Oh, I hear stuff dropping off. Oh, yeah, we got all kinds of stuff dropping off. I need, oh God, oh. really should use 2 hands for this, but I wanted to show you guys, but I'll fish them out. Oh, dude, look at that. Oh, look at that. That's that Seed Ranch. Oh, look at that. That's why I love Seed Ranch. It just falls right off. As I expected, you know, the first harvest is always the least impressive, because a lot of the first harvest is still stuck on the wire, which you'll never get that stuff that's really down to the core of the wire. But from now that we have that caked on layer, we're going to start to really get some growth. And it's those overgrowths that fall off, or that we can pluck off, and then wash them and throw them in the bin. The only problem with the sealed bin, though, is it's still wet a little bit. It needs to dry, so I might leave that lid cracked so that can dry off. Alright, we've just had our 3rd harvest. Everything's dissolving really nice still, producing a lot of crystals, and I think we know where the threshold is now. We are filling up quick, baby. That bin is heavy. So I invested a little bit more into a couple more items. I've been itching to get down here and play with this, but upstairs has been consuming me. But we grabbed some new gloves. A little less protection than the other ones. The other ones are really heavy duty and hard to, they're hard to have on. But these are a little bit thinner. I think they'll be fine for the electric forge. Got another clay graphite crucible. I thought I ordered the same one, but this one seems to be taller and thinner, and this one's shorter and fatter. And then I grabbed some new tongs. Please use tongs. It looks like needle nose plier handles with some extravagant, yeah. But I had to do a little customization, so these hooked around a little bit more. I just took the Sawzall and cut off about 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch. And the reason I did that is because before, at the bottom of the crucible, it was like this. I couldn't get around it, but now we have enough slack to slip under, grab it, clamp the top, and we can, you know, pull it out, pour, put it back in, all in one deadly swoop. So we can just scoop it up, clamp it, boom. That is sweet. So I also grabbed, you know, the common, this is basically a 1 kilo silver ingot mold, which turns out to be about 1.5 pounds of copper, roughly. This is the one from the last batch. These graphite molds are really nice. They produce a nice bar, but they break down and they don't last. So I grabbed a brand new one, you know, for the next batch, if we were going to stay the same. But I also found this. So it's slightly skinnier, but it's longer. That is a cool looking bar. So, I mean, there's no reason that I need to... We've produced 73 bars so far. The working class copper bullion bars, we have 73 exactly out there, and I have one of them. I think I have bar number 12, but the rest of them are out there. So there's nothing saying that we need to stick to the same bar size. Why not change it up? Make it interesting. So maybe bar number 74 is one of these, slightly bigger. All right, so I put about 1.5 tablespoons of borax at the bottom of the brand new crucible. And now we're gonna snap it shut. And this says max temperature 2200 degrees, but I went to set the temperature and it went all the way up to 24. But maybe it won't actually reach that. So I just set it to what it says, max temp, 2200 degrees Fahrenheit, which is more than enough for what we're trying to do. So I'm going to let this bring it all the way up to 2200 degrees, let it sit there for a little bit. Get that borax nice and melted, and then once I feel like it's good, we'll pull it out and swish that borax around, pour out the excess, and then we'll mess around with some copper. Dude, check that out. I put just a couple little dribbles of that molten borax on top of that wood in the fireplace, and it just almost better than gasoline. So I'm gonna go throw the rest of my demolition supplies on there. But we're gonna start with 2 pounds 4 ounces exactly of copper. We're gonna see if we can fit it in this graphite ingot, or this graphite crucible, clay graphite crucible, and then we're gonna pour it in there after it melts and just see, you know, what it looks like. And we're gonna give this a little splash of some borax and set her in there. Yeah, I would say that's about the limit of this crucible. 2 pounds 4 ounces. All right, it hit 22 degrees. Holy crap, the thing's hot, man. Like, these gloves burn quick. Even just touching it real quick just to open it. And it looks fully melted. I can't really tell, it's so bright in there. So I'm gonna give it just an extra minute. We're gonna start preheating the mold with a torch and dump it and see how it comes out. Alright, so now I see why in the instructions it tells you not to just, you know, turn it off when you're done. You gotta set it to 0 and let it cool off. It's not just the heat sink, so it keeps kicking on and kicking off. So it's slowly bringing itself back down. Because I just tried to throw the bar in the vise and quickly hit it with a wire brush so we can see what we're working with, and I tripped the breaker. So I had to go quickly flip the breaker back on, and then I quickly shut this off, wire brush the bar, and turn it back on really quick. And it's just dropping itself, because obviously if it heats up too quick and cools off too quick, it could cause damage, you know. So it's still using electricity, but it's slowly bringing itself down. But one of you guys mentioned in the comments last time that when I said I got this, that I'm gonna absolutely love being able to control the temperature with a push of a button. And it is quite nice. You were right. You were 100% right. This is sweet, man. Because I can set it and I can go do something else. I just ran outside and I had a huge pile of old hardwood flooring and 2x4s, and I threw it in the fireplace, burnt it all. And I kept running back in every 10 or 15 minutes or so. Check on it, go back out. So I can run around and do other things, you know. I'm not stuck babysitting the forge. And honestly, it's like it didn't smoke, or it doesn't smell down here. I mean, you could smell it a little bit, but it didn't like fill the basement or the house with like smoke and stank. It's not bad at all, man. This thing is nice. This is really gonna bring our bars to the next level. Let's go upstairs and check out what we just made. All right, so for anybody who is maybe new here, and just tuning in, this is what we're after, more or less. There is 73 of these bars in existence. And this is bar number 12. The rest of them are out there, clear across the United States. Batch 1 looks like this. It has stamps on the front only. Batch 2, we tried to improve, and we stamped the weight of the bar on the side. Batch 1, if you bought 4, basically if you bought 4, you got like a elongated crate. Thought that's what I was going for, but I don't know. I wasn't a fan. I wanted people, you know, to be able to customize what they wanted. So then we created a mini palette. That's exactly what I was going for. I just didn't know it, you know what I mean? I had to like mess around. Anti-skid feet on the bottom, mahogany or walnut, which I don't have any more walnuts. I'm gonna make them. I have 4 of these left over from the last go, but it's just a you know, mahogany or walnut, and you could put 4 or more. Then everything got tied down and shrink wrapped and bubble wrapped and boxed and shipped. If you bought 1 or 2, then you just got 1 or 2, no pallet. You know what I mean? 4 or more, you got the pallet. And they fly out, man. Like as soon as I offer them up, they're gone. And I don't, you know, I'm not like the Federal Reserve where I'm making bars on the side. You know, I'm putting them on eBay or Etsy. And you can go check Etsy, you can check eBay, you can check everywhere. You will not find these unless somebody bought them from me and they're reselling them. And there's only 73 in existence. There's only 73. So I don't know if I want to stick to that same. This is why I wanted to do a little test run with the new forge, see how things went, and see how I like the new ingot mold size. And I'm pretty sure this was a 1 kilo copper ingot mold because it took 4 weeks to ship. They're not as common. They're a little bit more expensive, but I love it. Oh, do I love it. First off, oh, look at that. Look at that. You can fit 1, 2, 3 of those. And then 1, 2, 3 the other direction. But instead of 1.5 pounds, it's almost 2.5. It's a little under. It's a little under 2. So it's almost double the copper. Slightly under. But it's a 1 kilo. So we went with 1.5 pounds before. And now we have 1 kilo copper bars. Oh, dude, look at that. That is pure. You can tell just by looking at that brownie back, man. It's like a bodybuilder's back. Just shredded. Looks just like a brownie. But doesn't taste like one. But I went with, so this is a 2.4. So I think from now on I'm going to go with 2.5. Just, I think I can fit a little bit more in that crucible just to make sure I have enough wiggle room to, you know, flatten, sand, polish. And I want these have to, they have to meet the criteria because my logo, my stamp, my name is going on it. So They have to meet that 2.205 or more. If it starts teetering on the scale or something, or it's a little bit under, gone. It's getting redone. So I'd rather not remelt things 100 times if I can help it. So I'd rather overshoot, grind it down, good to go. But I mean, look at, it's one of those things that it's hard to explain until you're holding this in your hand. That is a sweet, that is a really nice bar. Wait until this is done. You know, that's the cool thing with where I'm at right now. Before, I had everything set up in my living room, and I had to wait until all the crystal was done, then jump to the next step, then jump to the next step. And it was a lot. But now we have 60 plus pounds of copper crystal ready to go. We have the electric forge. I can run inside. I don't have to babysit it too much. And in my spare time, I can start pumping out these, putting them to the side, and then do all the other steps in between. And then once I have a good chunk of these stacked up, start finishing them, then start stamping them, and then start packaging them. You know, I can jump around from step to step and start stockpiling. And once I have a good enough stockpile set aside, I'm going to make a video and say, hey, they're for sale. Anyone want them? Here they are. They're only for sale right here. Nowhere else. You're not going to find these anywhere else. They're for my subscribers and my subscribers only. So, yeah, keep an eye out. Make sure you subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. See you in the next one.